Good morning, everyone. So, we're going to start our new lesson in Module K. We said Module K is about forces. And this lesson is about Newton's laws of motion. Newton was a scientist who experimented with physics and forces, and he's known for the laws of motion that we study today. And he's somebody important in physics. And he basically is the one, they say, who discovered gravity by the apple falling on his head. This is the story that's known. So we're going to talk about Newton's laws of motion in this lesson. But there's a lot of things that we're going to cover as well. So it's Unit 1 and Lesson 3. Okay? We're going to start with what's motion. Okay? Before we start with Newton's laws of motion, what is motion? Motion is basically a physical movement. Okay? Or a change in position or place relative to a reference point. Okay, we're going to understand what reference point is, but motion is basically just a physical movement. That's the first thing you need to know. Or a change in position. Okay, a reference point is something that you refer to know if an object is moving. Okay, like if you look at a car and the car was next to for example a tall building, and then 2 minutes later it was next to a shorter building, and you say, oh, the car moved because relative to the taller building was the reference point. I'll show you an example. Before we see that, let's talk about, this is another definition. An object is in motion when it is continuously changing its position based on a reference point as observed by a person or a device. Okay, so let's say your reference, you're going on a trip in a car and your reference point is your house. Okay, so you're considered to be in motion as long as your position is changing in reference to your house. Okay, the position of an object, this is a reference point. The position of an object must be defined in relation to some standard reference point. A reference points need to be something that doesn't move. Okay, like for example, let's say we're sitting in a classroom. The reference point can be our door, the door of the classroom, because the door doesn't move. The desks can move around. The desks cannot be a reference point. So I can say that, let's say Mahla changed her position according to the reference point, which is the door. She was sitting on the left of the door, and now she's sitting right in front of it. So the door is a reference point, and we can see that Maha has changed her position in in reference to the reference point. Okay, let's look at this here. The reference point, for example, can be City Hall, and then we can see that he moved according to the reference point. So you can pick any point that doesn't move, and you can consider it as a reference point, and then you can see if an object is in motion according to this reference point. Okay, you're going to understand this more when we do a small activity about it in the lesson activities that we have coming. That's all you need to know for today. We continue the rest later.